Cooking with Carmen, Southern Eats. This is our very first episode, and I'm so glad you're joining us. Today's recipe is brown sugar Creole ribs, along with my favorite Southern-style candied yams. Now we're going to start with our beef. I'm actually using bone-in beef ribs. Here I have about 1.25 pounds to 1.5 pounds of meat here. And I personally prefer beef over pork, but you can use pork for this recipe. The main ingredient in this recipe is brown sugar. We're using 1/3 cup. We're going to do that with a blend of Creole seasoning, and that will be shared with you at the end of the slide. We're going to go ahead and sprinkle the seasoning blend over the beef. And next we're going to rub. The reason why you want to rub this into the meat is so that the seasonings penetrate all the way to the bone. And this is especially helpful if you do not have time to marinate for 8 to 12 hours, which I recommend. But the penetrating of the seasoning will work just fine. And this is what it looks like when it's finished with the rub. Next, you're going to go ahead and put a nice heavy aluminum foil over it and cook it for 2.5 hours at 350. Now for our Southern style candied yams. Start with 3 large yams. Make sure the skin is washed. Go ahead and peel. Try to peel it quickly because the skin will oxidize under the surface. And you don't want those little brown spots all in your potatoes. Got about 2.5 pounds or 3 yams. Cut them into 1/4 medallion cut. Use unsalted butter. Layer the butter on top. And I'm using about 1/2 cup here, which is 8 tablespoons. Once you've layered your butter onto your yams, go ahead and take your sugar, which I'm using 1 cup of sugar, granulated sugar. Pour generously over your yams. Make sure you get all the corners. This is going to actually create the syrup that causes the potatoes to be candied. Next, I am using 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Sprinkle it like so. Make sure you cover all of it. And if you don't want to use the granulated sugar or the brown sugar, use a sweetener or agave nectar. Put 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, sprinkling all over the yams. Make sure you cover it really good. And now we're going to move on to our extracts, which you see here I have 2. Use 1 teaspoon of the vanilla extract. And just try to get it all over the potatoes. You're going to follow it up with 1 teaspoon of the lemon extract. This is really good because it's going to give it a nice citrus flavor. And it's going to bring balance to the sugar. You want to go ahead and cover this up as well with the aluminum foil. And once again, pop it in the oven at 350. We're going to bake this for about 1.5 hours. And here you see we've got our Carmen's Creole seasoning blend. You're going to add that to the brown sugar to make the seasoning that we used on our beef as promised. Here it is for you. We are so glad that you could join us. Stay tuned for more episodes. And as always, we do thank you.